I'm saying?
So first of all, spoilers. It's not a 7.4. So I've watched the entirety in its entirety. It's probably like a 5.2 5.25, 5.3. A lot of the shit they changed.
I even forgot about this. Yeah, nah, Star Platinum is up, bro. Nah, it's up. I forgot about that.
Coming back to it after I thought we were finished, whatever. But
I just forgot about that.
I saw all 8 episodes, and I'll tell you, a lot of the stuff that they chose
that doesn't make it better
in the Avatar live action shit ruined a lot of the characters' motivations and stuff in later seasons is not going to make sense. Like, I don't like what they did with Azula. I don't like what they did with Boomy. And like the main cast have their regular personality. There's a lot of issues with the show that people were coping. Like there was a lot of people online coping, like, oh my god, this is not like the original. I was called. You guys want to say it's bad? No, it's bad because the stuff they changed destroys a lot of what characters are. Because I'm gonna go into this. They show Azula, right? A big thing with Azula, which makes her such a good villain for season 2, is she's calm, cool, collected, but she's also kind of a psychopath, right? So it's kind of like a Joker, you will. Like Joker's insane and evil, but he's smart enough to be on par with Batman. That's kind of how Azula was. In the first season, first of all, she wasn't even in the first season of original Avatar. I don't really care about that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that shit too. So one thing, they added stuff for season 2, like Wang Shitong. Like, all right. See, you should be 3 for that. You should be 3 for that. But they added stuff from season 2. They actually added stuff that didn't even make sense because they're destroying story arcs. Like, for instance, they added in the episode Spirits, they added Wang Shitong. Wang Shitong is supposed to be in the physical world in season 2 because he was supposed to be in the desert because that's how they figure out about the eclipse. But if he's in the spirit world, he's no longer in the desert. Now they could write themselves out of the hole and say, oh, he went back to the physical world, but it doesn't really make sense. Another thing, they made Boomy an asshole and like he was like blaming Aang for what he did. Like, I love Avatar, so I wanted to give it a chance, but I'm being honest now. Boomy, they legit changed Boomy character completely where he's like my least favorite character in the show. He's basically guilt tripping Aang the entirety of the show when his whole thing is supposed to be patience and knowing when the right time is to strike. How the biggest thing, because they also changed this, which I don't like. Boomy ended up losing his city, but it wasn't because he gave it up. Boomy gave up his thing in the show to show that he's patient enough to know that something's going to happen where I could take it back and eradicate all Fire Nation stuff in my town. But they didn't do that. They just changed so much shit. The first episode was good. Another thing, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not. A lot of the exposition...
Step towards number 10.
Like... a lot of the exposition that you would get through Roku, they made it Kyoshi. So I don't know if that's an agenda pushing thing because Kyoshi she was in Avatar. We know of stuff she did. She had a couple moments, but the entire second episode is basically like Kyoshi schooling this nigga Aang, and it's basically all the shit he would have got from Roku, which is whatever. But I don't really care about that. I don't think that's the issue. Changing what Avatar gives you information is fine.
Yeah, they also said, why don't they just copy it 1-to-1? It would be an easy hit. Apparently, Netflix only gave them 8 episodes.
They only gave it 8 episodes.
And the thing is, like, and this is the thing to me, is like, I will say though, like when the problem started when the creators left. Once you knew the creators were not on board with this project, I knew it was gonna go downhill like very quickly. Yeah. If you look at the only live action that Netflix did that was successful, it was One Piece live action because of what's it called?
Oda oversaw.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not gonna lie, you going up the Gooning list, but what's it called? What was I saying? I was saying, yeah, they kept on consulting with Oda. Yeah. And basically asking him, okay, what should we cut? What should we keep? How should we frame things? And they made sure it was meticulously put in a way where the creator was able to basically expound his vision onto what the live action should look like. So the fact that Avatar, they got rid of the live action people in after the first few months, I knew it was up from there. Yeah. Also, on top of that, I knew that Netflix, if they use their own writers, they do not respect the source material. You can look at what they did to The Witcher. They do not respect the source material. For some ungodly reason, the niggas at Netflix think they can write better than the niggas who actually wrote the shit, which is crazy.
Now, again,
so they want to hand fist things in and throw things in, and they always do this, and then the pacing becomes terrible, and the show becomes pretty much unwatchable, and that's pretty much what happened.
Another thing, which I think they did actually this right. So some of the stuff they added, like, so for instance, they added the Airbender genocide because we didn't see that. We just heard it happen. That was hard. That was a hard thing.
My question is, why are you adding shit if you know you don't have the time to then go back and make stuff make sense? Because you only have 8 episodes. It just doesn't make sense.
Another thing, a big thing with Oda was, because we were talking to Drew about this, is because apparently the Don Krieg shit was supposed to be a bigger part than it actually was in a live action show. But Drew said in terms of the One Piece universe, Don Krieg is not that important. The shit they changed in Avatar, like making Boomy an asshole. Boomy is supposed to Boomy is supposed to give him the insight on how to find Toph. Like if Boomy is an asshole and thinks that he wasted all his time and he shirks his responsibilities, and Boomy's whole thing is patience, somebody that waits and listens, that's Toph's whole shit. So we never know who Toph is. That's
the writing, not understanding how it all ties into each other, and that's my whole thing. It's they don't respect the original writing and the original vision of the show. It's never going to be good if you're creating an adaptation. Like that's my whole thing. And Jesus said maybe if we stopped doing live action and invested in animation, we'd get good content. But hey, what do I know? And that's another thing. I'm just saying, like, bro, Castlevania, that shit was hard. Why are we doing more stuff that we're just animating new things? And Netflix is investing in more anime and stuff like that. But I will say though, this live action shit just isn't it, bro. Unless you want to bring the creator in and have his.
A lot of y'all people, y'all new fans are coping. They made Azula a better character. No, they didn't. They did not. Just didn't understand what made Azula such a good character in the first one. They were talking about, oh my god, she's supposed to be a calm, cool, collected, but also crazy.
The thing is, another thing is, like, the thing is, you could paint the thing is they were saying, oh, she's better because they painted her as a victim. You do realize that you can be a victim of something and not know it, and then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, just go full throttle into the ideology. Like that's how people become evil. They're a victim of something, but they think that it's good, and they just go full throttle into it and become a psycho. Exactly. Yeah. She's a psycho. She's not misunderstood. Now that doesn't mean Ozai didn't do something wrong with her upbringing, but that doesn't mean she's misunderstood. She became a psycho. And again, that's what happens to people who are brought up in some terrible things. Some of them just become psychos. It just is what it is.
I was arguing with some. I should have known this was a Stan account but whatever. Because Azula was her profile picture. She was arguing that Azula wasn't even like that in the show. She wasn't crazy. In the first time we see her, she tries to kill Zuko when her orders from Ozai are to capture them and take them prisoner. Exactly. If you don't remember, like, what the fuck? The first time
on top of that, you could go even further back in her childhood when Zuko's getting his shit smacked and got the scar. She's smiling while Iroh has to look away. Like she's clearly a psychopath from the start. Like I don't even understand what these people are talking about.
Before that even happened, we see flashbacks where she jokes about stuff she shouldn't joke about. Like how Iroh lost his son and he became a bitch. Like what?
That's crazy.
I know she said that she's way younger.
And the thing is, apparently, it was implied that they knew Liu 10, so like they knew that they knew him beforehand. Yeah, which is crazy.
Cousin Liu 10, like that's the homie, that's the big homie type shit. Like what are we like?
That's your man's, yeah, exactly.
We see her.
I don't know, man.
With Iroh, we see her burn the head of the Earth Kingdom doll to smithereens that she wanted to play with Zuko's knife. Like, what the fuck are we? Like, Zuko was like 3 years older than her, and he got like she wants the knife to stab. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
They said new Naruto live action changing the game. I'm not really gonna buy into any live action until, you know what I'm saying. I'm just not.
The only live action we're watching, and too bad Drew's not here, is One Piece. The One Piece shit is actually good. I don't know. The One Piece shit is actually good. So.